election in the village of Kaure near Campaign. The villagers were so surprised and shocked that 80 people, men, women, and children went to the police station to find out what this whole thing was all about. And of course, meanwhile, they opened the mine in the village. Next day, 250 villagers got into buses, and first thing in the morning, they went to the house of the Chief Minister of Goa, Mr. Miranda, and demanded that this mine should be closed. Goa tried to sort of, say, yeah, we'll do it. I told already the pollution board control, I gave them orders to close the mine. They got into the bus and marched to the pollution control board in Panjim. 250 of them, and these villages are Adivasis, what we call, the local original people of Goa. They are tribals, basically. So they got to the pollution control board, and the chairman of the pollution control board told them, well, the chief minister called me, but he told me to negotiate with you and the owner of the mine to keep the mine open. They said, no. We want this mine closed immediately because it is illegal. So they said, yeah, actually it is illegal, but the responsibility to close the mine is from the chief of the mining bureau. So they went there. They took over the office of the mining bureau. They sat down in the board room, some of them. Everybody else sat down outside. And they refused to budge until they gave the order to close the mine. Many phone calls backwards and forwards, and they said, we are not leaving. Very peaceful, but we are not leaving without this order. And by 10:30 at night, they got the order. And that was such a victory. I couldn't sleep that night. I was so excited. I said, this is the power of the people. They refused to budge until this was done. And this is the way to do things in India, in Goa especially. So I thought, well, fantastic, and then at that point, they were organizing the 15th of March, the GRA movement, big demonstration. You must have all read about that, the GRA, Awaz. A lot of people from abroad, sent money for them to bring buses, to bring people. And I was so excited. I said, this is it. We are going to get some change in Goa. Hardly 5,000 people turned up. They were demanding, there were over 35 or what was how many organizations involved, and many villages, etc. And they were demanding a special status for Goa. Besides several other things, but a special status would be able to allow Goa to do all sorts of things that people have been aiming to do, to spoil the destruction of Goa. And also clean the election rolls and several things. But people were not interested. Only 5,000 or so came. There were very fiery speeches and things, but I was dismayed to see the number of people that turned up. 5 days later, there was a demonstration, another big in Azad Maidan. And this was to stop Konkani from being the medium of teaching in schools in Goa. They wanted English. Guess how many people came? 20,000 more. We want English to be taught to our children because that's the future. Okay? There were people there that obviously, I saw some photographs that didn't have a clue about English. Obviously they only spoke Konkani, but they wanted their children to be brought up in English. Fine. So they cared about the future of their children. But they completely missed the point. They missed the point because the children with just English are not necessarily going to survive and get jobs. Because Goa is being destroyed, as I'm going to show you. They can learn as much English as they like, that you're not going to have the very basic things that you need for life, which is water, which is food, which is an environment that is clean, that is not polluted, and less corruption, better conditions for life. By the time these kids grow and speak fluent English, the whole of Goa would have been transferred to China. Anyway, I'll show you why. Okay. Only when the last tree has been cut, only when the last river has been poisoned, Only then will they know they cannot eat money. This is a well-known saying from the North American Indians. And Article 48 says that the state shall endeavor to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forests and wildlife of the country. Equally, Article 51 talks about the duties of the citizen of India to protect the environment also. However, in the course of the so-called development process in Goa, it's obvious that there has been no recognition that environmental sustainability and avoidance of environmental degradation are also legitimate and economic concerns. The objective of the campaigns in which I've been involved, really, because of the things that are going on in Goa, is to really try and restore the authentic meaning of the rule of law by emphasizing compliance with legal requirements for environmental protection. Because it's all free-for-all there. Nobody knows what's going on, and I'll tell you why. And also to restore some degree of balance between India's constitutional right to life, its constitutional duty to protect the environment, and its need for rational development. So what's happening in our little lovely Goa? It means that our lush and green Goa that we so much love and are so used to this is the way we imagine Goa. It is disappearing fast. So as a result, fertile paddy fields are now silted and abandoned. Hundreds of paddy fields. This one is in Pissurland and it's surrounded by mines. And it's completely silted. It's a huge area and it's abandoned for years. Nobody cultivates it, of course. And about 60,000 of those would have been cut by the mining industry. Forest land is illegally cleared for mining. This is an example of it, which I actually photographed. I found this being cut without the knowledge of the forest department. This is an example of a dense forest already, with a board from Salgoncar, and they're going to destroy this. Probably it doesn't exist anymore since I took this photograph. Mining in or close to the forest destroys wildlife habitat. You can see bang in the middle of the forest, there is a mine here, 2 mines. This is in the middle. Now what's happening as a result of that? Like tigers, leopards, bison, they're all being now, advancing towards the villages that are surrounded because their habitat's being destroyed. They have nowhere to go. And this is what's happening, which is really a crime. Over there at the back, I don't know if you can see clearly, that is a dump, a mining dump, close to the river. And this shows over and over again the disregard for anti-pollution regulations. They are not supposed to have these dumps anywhere near the rivers. Because you can't see the color over here barely, this is brown. The river has been completely polluted and silted. And this is in the middle of a forest where there were bisons and things. I went in and took this guy, went to this river where we should have had clean, transparent water, and he picked up all that silt. Goa is being dug out of its existence. You have no idea of the extent of the mining that's going on. It's completely being destroyed. Rejects are piled up in more than 50 villages. Can you see the rejects? Look at the house, it's disappearing behind the rejects. It's already more than 600 million metric tons, or 30 to 40 metric tons per capita, is being dumped in villages. This is the Grand Canyon of the USA, which took millions of years to develop through natural processes and to become like this. But in Goa, it took less than 50 years. We are digging out our own Grand Canyon over here in incredible speed. And this is Sochi mine. So yeah, this is one of the many 110 mines going on there, competing with the Grand Canyon now. Now there are 110 mining leases in operation, so-called legally. Okay? Now what you have to bear in mind is that a lot of these so-called legal mines got their clearances in false pretenses, not giving really the true picture of where they were trying to get the leases, by lying, basically lying to the government to get their clearances. Because they are the ones who say, look, there is absolutely no water, no rivers, no forests here. It's perfectly all right for us to mine there. And the guy sitting in Delhi said, okay, fine, you say that, we take it from you. Do they follow all the rules and regulations? Is the monitoring of compliance with laws efficient? Are there any deterrents to illegal operations? And the answer to all that is no, no, and no. But Goa cannot already cope with 100-odd mines because, it's total chaos. And can you imagine another 130 on top of it operating? It's going to be devastation. I mean, it already is devastation, but it's going to be complete the end of Goa. Now, this is an interesting story. Salauli Dam Reservoir. You see the mine in the front, and Salauli Dam is just there. It's barely 100 meters away. Now, last week, our Chief Minister of Goa, who also holds the portfolio for mines for the past 13 years, this guy, under pressure, he had to inform the people at the assembly that there are 19 mines operating in less than 500 meters from the Salauli Dam, he said. And then he also said that 9 of those mines don't even have any documentation to operate. They are illegal. Now this is the Chief Minister who's got the portfolio of mining for the last 13 years. That heavy metals is one thing you cannot remove from water. You can kill bacteria, you can remove all sorts of things, but you cannot remove heavy metals. They go straight into your system and start causing all kinds of serious diseases. This guy, as far as I'm concerned, is poisoning half the population of Goa. And he's sitting down there, telling at the assembly that there are 19 mines, 500 meters close to the Salauli Dam. Isn't this shocking? Aren't you shocked by this? I mean, what is going to happen to all those future generations? This is the only drinking water they have, with heavy metals in it. So this is Goa's rapidly changing landscape. This is what's happening all over Goa. Green in Goa is going to be history. We are going to very soon have kilometers and kilometers of red, yellow ochre, dusty landscape like a desert. So the National Institute of Oceanography predicted total extinction of Maldivian Zoroastrian life in the future. And of course, that means finish with our fish curry and rice, because they are finishing with our fields also at one end, the fish at the other end. What are we going to use? Because while China benefits from our iron ore and our misery in Goa, Goa ends up with a hole in the ground. It's such a shame that you can't really see these sociological life. Probably just as well, because you got out very depressed. Goa's model of development, I think, is unsustainable. It destroys the ecosystems and life support systems, it destroys forest land, dries water sources, pollutes and silts rivers and agriculture land, destroys wildlife habitats. So what's that green spot? Can you see that little green spot over there? Is it clear to you? Yeah, that is Goa. That is Goa, squeezed in between Karnataka and Maharashtra. That's how small Goa is. It's less than 1% of India's landmass. Because mining is not the backbone of Goa's economy, and it is not the future of Goa. See, by the time you counter, you measure or balance the destruction that Goa, the mining is causing on the fisheries, on the agriculture, on the people's health, and all sorts of things, and at the end of the day, and the fact that the majority of people that are working for the mines are coming from outside Goa, what the hell are we talking about giving employment to Goa? The mines are giving employment to Goa, to Goa. It's not. I just found out that 80% of the drivers are from outside Goa. Only God knows how many of the Goans are actually working on the mines. But on the whole, there are 15,000 officially employed directly in the mines 65,000 is the total number of population which are indirectly kind of related to the mine industry, one way or the other. Counting their families. Counting that each of them is about 5 people in the family. That's how it becomes 65,000. Now, that is barely, it's less than 20% of gross population. So are we going to allow the destruction of the entire ecosystem and system of survival of gold because of that tiny proportion of people? You know, majority probably are from outside. I don't know. So I think the future of gold is really sustainable development, green technology, food production, ecotourism, nature conservation, modern technologies, technologies of tomorrow. You know, the future for Goa should be guided and ruled by good governance. Oh my God, how are we going to get that? Accountability and law and order, transparency and honesty, zero tolerance for corruption and bribes, respect for nature, strong and honest monitoring capacity, cooperation and partnership with civil society. That's my ideal. That's what I would like to fight for Goa. But none of this exists. We are far from it. So, do we want a green Goa? Wouldn't that be nice? It's up to you. Thank you.